Hey, Rich Cole from Rich's Talking, back again. There is so much going on, it's hard to believe. You would think that Trump was already sworn in as president. All of the foreign countries want to deal with him right now. He was invited to the reopening of Notre Dame in France by the president of France, and people from all over are trying to speak with him. He's had a visit by Pierre Trudeau of Canada, phone calls with the president of Mexico. A lot going on. He did reach out to President Xi in China to come to his inauguration, which was RSVP'd with a no. But anyway, he didn't expect him to come, but it just shows that Trump is reopening doors that the Biden administration closed, doors that should remain open. In my last podcast, I called it Pete and Cash. And it was Pete Hegseth, which I covered. And the second part of the podcast disappeared. I don't know where it went, but it was on Kash Patel. So sorry about that, but just to talk a little bit about him. According to the New York Times, they said that he's a staunch Trump royalist, and his involvements into challenging investigations into Russian interference in the 2016 election was noted as a problem. Said that he used to work for Congressman David Nunes, and his role in drafting a controversial memo alleging FBI misconduct in the surveillance of former Trump campaign aide Carter Page. Well, I totally agree with that because he was found totally innocent of everything they tried to charge him with. This was the FBI. Patel was described as a contentious figure with supporters praising his dedication to uncovering perceived governmental overreach, while critics accuse him of advancing partisan objectives. I was on the fence about it because I just didn't know much about him. So until I heard this.
You know, Trey, you were very vocal about Matt Gaetz as AG nominee. Where are you on Kash Patel?
As much as I did not like Matt Gaetz, that's how much I do like Kash Patel. I worked side by side with him for 2 years. If you wanted to know who funded the Steele dossier, you should thank Kash Patel. If you want to know about the FISA abuse, you should thank Kash Patel. And he did it with an incredible headwind, Brett. He did it with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell fighting him every single day. So I get that the left and the media don't like Kash Patel, but they also didn't lift a finger to expose this hoax called Russia collusion. Kash did. Kash will be a lot more fair to his critics than they were to him.
That, my friend, was Trey Gowdy, formerly a congressman from South Carolina, someone who was very active in the hearings about Hillary Clinton and proved pretty much that she was guilty, but they let her off anyway. I have a lot of trust in Trey Gowdy. And if he says Kash Patel is that good, I'm fine. I'm fine with him. Now I want to revisit the Pete Hegseth nomination. Since I talked about him last week, Trump has come out very vocally supporting Pete. And we're hearing all over that the troops, some of the people that he actually was in combat with, and they're talking to their friends, are all coming out in favor of Pete. They would like someone, rather than these old generals that've been around and they're dealing. If you remember, not you would remember, but if you read about Eisenhower, warning of the military-industrial complex. And that's where the senior military officers are dealing with these companies that provide weapons. And there's a lot that goes on back and forth between them. And these generals that have been in there for years are guilty of it. So that would all be cleaned up. The DEA that they've been doing all the way down into West Point teaching woke policies. So all of that crap is going to be cleaned out. There's going to be different generals. He's going to replace most of the senior generals, and I think he should. And get younger, newer ones in there who can straighten that around. And I bet he could save money. I think it's a lot of waste in the military. So you remember the old story years and years ago where they were paying $700 for a toilet seat. And so that was many years ago. It's probably 2,000 today. So anyway, he does have an uphill battle because, this is Pete we're talking about, an uphill battle because of sexual abuse allegations. But, I mean, look who appointed him, Trump, who's got sexual abuse allegations. The one that is going to be an important one is Senator Joni Ernst, Republican senator of Iowa. She is a military veteran and has been calling out sexual abuse in the military since she's been a senator. So that's going to be an important one. She did meet with Pete the other day, and she thought it was a good meeting. If she can bring herself forward to support him, that'd be a big step. And as somebody said, don't forget you Republicans that are holding back on who you're going to approve. You wouldn't be in charge of the Senate now if it wasn't for Trump. The wave came with him. That's why they took control of the Senate. Just don't forget that. So it was funny, Dan Bongino, who you may or may not know, said a warning to Joni Ernst: Pete Hegseth will be just fine if you sabotage his deserved spot as Secretary of Defense. You, however, will not be fine. You will be drummed out of office, including former Republican Liz Cheney was. Here's another supporter of Pete. If you remember Geraldo Rivera, who was fired from Fox. Not sure he's still a supporter of Trump. He's wavers back and forth. But here he was sitting on a CNN panel the other day talking about Pete.
I've spoken for my years as a war correspondent. I have very good contacts in the military, and I've spoken to retired, very high-ranking officers with deep Pentagon and warfighting experience, and they voiced misgivings about him running this 3 million strong department. So I get that. But I know Pete Hegseth, Major Pete Hegseth, a 2-time awardee of the Bronze Star. This is a combat veteran who loves other veterans, who has a wonderful rapport with them and with military families. I think it would be a very, very steep learning curve for Major Hegseth, but I think that if anyone can do it, he can do it. He's courageous, he's patriotic, he's smart, he's well-educated, he cares deeply about it. We look at him, certainly I look at him and I see a kid, but he's in his mid-40s. He's done a lot. It was great being opposite him on the couch. We never agreed on very much, but I think that he can do it.
So that was a really nice comments that Geraldo made. I now feel that he should be approved, nominated, I don't know what you call it, approved by the Senate. And I think he would be good. Senator Tom Cotton of, I think he's from Arkansas, yeah he is. He thinks every one of the appointees, the nominations will be approved. So that's interesting. That would let Trump go forward with all of his plans. Well, I hope you enjoy the podcasts I do. Just to refresh your memory, the reason I do these is just to give one man's opinion of what's going on in the world. It's my opinion. You may disagree with me, and that's fine. That's what it's all about. Feel free to make comments where you disagree or agree. I like good ones too. So if you would, if you haven't done it already, the folks on TikTok, go to my profile, hit the YouTube button, and then you'll be taken to YouTube and you can hit the subscribe button and be part of my group. Thank you very much.